You know, we've been hearing in the headlines, our state legislature has passed some new bills that could affect you as a consumer. What are some of these changes? Well, we decided to call in our friends, Marc Anidjar, partner from the law office of Anidjar and Levine, along with Shire Patel, who is back as well.
Well,
Gentlemen,
thanks for having us, as usual.
Good to see you. So let's break it down. Let's talk.
So obviously, first and foremost, sorry for the short hiatus. I know we haven't been on in a couple of weeks, but we've actually been very, very busy. We actually filed 2,000 lawsuits in the last 6 weeks. And the reason we did that was we were trying to get those all signed before our governor signed this lovely bill that made all these changes. So anybody that we were able to file, we got grandfathered in, and they aren't subject to any of the new rules. Now it's the law of the land. So now this is what we have to deal with. So the two major changes are what's called contributory negligence. The new rule basically means our state used to be what's called comparative fault. There would be a percentage of fault to each person. And depending on that, whatever a jury decided is what the allocation of your award would be. So we could get into an accident, and let's say it happened in an intersection, and they found you 60% at fault, and I was 40% at fault. We could each collect on our percentage of whatever the percentage of fault we had.
Okay.
Now the new rule basically says if you are found 51% at fault, you are barred completely. You cannot make a recovery.
Really?
So in that situation,
from anything.
So in that situation now, if they found you 60% at fault in that same scenario, you would get nothing, and I would still be able to make a claim against your policy. So this was all under the guise of, hey, we're going to help reduce insurance premiums. But what I've noticed is everyone's renewal has only gone up, not down. So typically that's kind of what happened.
Okay, so I'm glad you addressed to what the positive was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Is that part of the reason too, and we're kind of getting off the script, is that part of the reason that people say, oh, Florida's a no-fault state? Is that like technically changed, or?
I'll let Shire jump in on that one.
No, so this whole term no fault that we hear, it goes to your own insurance, your personal injury protection benefits. In the state of Florida, your own insurance company is responsible for the first $10,000 of your medical expenses, regardless of who's at fault for this accident. So that's where that whole no fault,
Even after this new,
that hasn't changed.
Okay.
So there was a couple of different attempts to try to reduce premium. At one point, they talked about eliminating the medical benefit that's called PIP, no fault.
Yeah.
And that didn't pass because obviously you get injured, you got to go to the hospital, who's going to pay your bills, right? So they realized that even though they were trying to reduce premium by eliminating PIP, that would be a bad idea because people need medical attention when they're hurt. Under this new rule, they're saying, well, if we can start barring people from making claims, obviously maybe that will diminish the payouts that we're going to make, and then we'll pass that savings on to the consumer. But that hasn't happened. Yeah. They always bring up the fact that Florida is one of the most litigious states, but if you really think of the three largest states in the union, it's Florida, Texas, and California. So obviously we're always going to be the most litigious state because we're one of the larger ones, right? So I think that comes part and parcel. So we'll see how it plays out, but that was kind of what transpired.
And of course, I'm assuming you're getting questions from people who, yes, you were able to push through, 2,000 litigations before it's signed, but still, I'm assuming you're getting questions like, okay, how does this affect me? Or if people are in an accident, they still need to reach out right away. Those haven't changed, right?
No, absolutely. And on what Marc was talking about with the comparative negligence standard, even now more than ever is important where you call the police, you take photographs, you do all those things to overcome this new hurdle.
So in the past, if you were in an accident and you just said, hey, let's just exchange information, that would be a bad idea today, because now if that person made an allegation that you were at fault and you had no way of refuting it, it could limit your ability to make a recovery, right? So more importantly now is if you get in an accident, you call the police, make sure they're the finder of fact to get everything done. Take photographs of where your cars are located at the time of the accident before you move them. So unfortunately, yes, there's going to be some more education we're going to have to give the consumer to make sure they protect themselves. But in a perfect world, we wouldn't be dealing with these types of situations. But the rules change. You got to modify and go with them and make sure that we still do the good work that we do, which is always protecting our clients.
And of course, I know we've talked about it in the past. It can be completely overwhelming after an auto accident. That's why it is better to call you guys sooner rather than later.
Sooner rather than later.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Anything else you want to add? I know people can get in touch with you. You guys are obviously, here in Tampa these days.
Obviously, we love Tampa. We're actually growing in the market. We're going to be, being more present and doing more in this great town, and we're having a lot of fun. So I think the community's embraced us in a very positive way. We love working with all the doctors here. They're all affiliated with major hospitals, all part with the USF, with education. So you get very quality physicians, quality people. It's just really a great town to be a part of.
Good stuff. Well, we're glad you're part of our show. Good to see both of you. We're going to go ahead and make sure and share the contact information so you can get in touch with the law offices of Anidjar and Levine, accident attorneys. There's the phone number. There's the website. Again, you can get in touch with them today. Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.